Hi, welcome back to Richards Bay. Well, we're celebrating 40 years of Richards Bay as becoming a port town. Mainly the cargo that goes from here is coal that comes down from Mpumalanga via the railways and exported to different countries. Well, before that, Richards Bay was a fishing town. And I have with me a guest now who has documented the rise, should I say, of Richards Bay from a sleepy fishing town into an industrial port. His name is Duncan Greaves. Duncan, welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you very much, and to everybody at Morning Live. Thank you.
Thanks. So tell us, how did you get into documenting Richards Bay's transformation?
Okay. Well, I heard in about 1968-69, the Prime Minister, or the State President then announced that a harbour was to be built at Richards Bay. And I immediately, within a day or two, went out and photographed the hotel and various businesses and houses that were here. Yeah.
So what was the first things to happen in Richards Bay?
Well, the first thing was what was at ground level in Richards Bay. But then we were approached by the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and they commissioned us for over a period of 20 years, every 6 weeks, to do aerial photographs looking straight down on the mouth where the water came out, so they could study the sandbanks and the currents and so on.
Earlier you were telling me something really interesting about how they actually built the port, surrounding it by sand, etc. Are you able to explain that again?
Yes. For example, let's talk about the coal terminal. They had to, first of all, dredge the sand out where the harbour wall was going to be built. And they put a bank of sand around, and then they dredged all the water out. And then they built the actual harbour wall. And they did that with the clean cargo and with various other ports as well.
But why was there a need to transform this area particularly into a port?
It was very appropriate. It has one exit, except now they've created a wall between, right in the middle, so that we have an area for a natural area, and we have an area for all the ports that were being built. And they built a new mouth for the river to flow out of that.
Now, before all of this, I believe Mpangeni played a pivotal role in the transformation of Richards Bay.
Yeah, absolutely. There were very few houses available in Richards Bay. Only Alusaf had built their own houses. Alusaf were the first company to start, and they started before the harbour was actually built. So they built a lot of houses in Mpangeni, and 3 or 4 big shopping chains came to Mpangeni, and so, that was where a lot of the bosses of the factories that started to grow and the people who were constructing, that's where they stayed.
So the aluminium smelter, I believe, was the very first sort of industrial thing built here, and thereafter many things came along.
Absolutely correct. The aluminium smelter was the first, and obviously we started taking pictures for them, and they kind of, in a way, the pictures we took of them, other factories saw them, and we were invited to photograph them or commissioned to photograph them. And most of the work was aerial photography because of the size of what we were photographing.
So talk us through to Richards Bay in comparison to Durban. Why does this one take more industrial cargo?
I think because this one is built particularly for industrial cargo. We have what they call the clean cargo area, where products like sulfur and various other products, aluminum came, and we have the coal terminal. We've got a tremendous amount of coal, and then we have the small craft harbour for the tugboats and that type of thing.
I know you were very passionate explaining to me through your different photographs. So talk to us the feelings that you had around taking these pictures. I'm seeing a town grow basically from a sleepy village to this, what we have around.
Yeah, no, for me it was an absolute incredible journey. Over the period, I amassed something like 60 to 100,000 photographs, 75% of which were aerial photographs because of the nature of the area.
In those days, you obviously had to go via helicopter, and now we have drones. So talk us through a bit about, so now and then you come here, what has changed, what do you see as the potential for Richards Bay?
Right, there has been a lot of change since I've come back. I've been away from this area for about 20 years and come back occasionally, and you have all these wonderful boating clubs and various other facilities, and the town has grown and various other industries have come. Some have closed, some more have opened, and so on. So it was an absolutely wonderful experience when we did the photography.
Thank you, Duncan. I'm sure you're going to take more photographs for us to see in the future, more development of Richards Bay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in Grahamstown, so there is a colleague of mine who kind of took over, Charles Corbett, and he's been doing industrial shots for Elusaf and the other aluminium factory.
Thank you very much, Duncan.
Only a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, that was Duncan Greaves, who was a photographer documenting the rise of Richards Bay from a sleepy fishing village to an industrial port that it is now. Palesa, it's back to you.